Come on, son, you got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude, like you got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wartz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
High noon and welcome in. This is not the Mason Crosby Show. This is the Leadoff Show. I am not Tommy Wirtz. I am Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder, filling in for Tommy. A well-deserved, beautiful Sunday day off for Mr. Wirtz. It is 66 degrees and beautiful, mostly cloudy. We had a bunch of rain this morning. Might see some later this evening, but a beautiful day. It's supposed to be mid-70s here in southeastern Wisconsin. So wherever you are enjoying the Leadoff Show and Milwaukee Brewers baseball around the state, we are here for you on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. You can find me on all the socials at Thunder MKE, of course, at WI Sports Radio. You can find me. I am live on YouTube and live on Twitter. The feed is up. I should probably repost it from my account as well. But for now, WI Sports Radio, where you get to see all your favorite shows inside Wisconsin sports with Trevor and Josh, 9 to noon with Kuhn, Rami, and Brandon, the Mason Crosby Show with me, Mitch Thunder Nellis, and Tommy Wirtz, and Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer and the gentle giant, Charlie Usen. It's not all gumdrops and lollipops and unicorns and narwhals and all the good, happy things right now in Brewersville. Our Milwaukee Brewers, once 8-2, are now 8-6. The Milwaukee Brewers have dropped 4 games in a row, I believe, since the first time since 2023. I believe there were no 4-game losing streaks in 24 or 25. 3-game losing streaks were very few and far between even last year. And what started out at 8-2 on our way to 100 victories looks more and more like 500. If I have the numbers right, 8-6, right? I did the math. 8-2 and then losing 4 in a row. That's 8-6. So let's get back on it today, Brewers fans. Let's get back to positivity. Let's get back to winning ways today. It is the 8-6 Brewers against the 6-8 Washington Nationals. Nationals are playing good ball, though. Nationals, I mean, they might stink, and they might stink long-term when it comes to the season. But right now, they don't stink. The Washington Nationals do not stink right now. So we will keep our eye on how and 6-8. I mean, they're fighting today. Brandon Woodruff on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's 1-0 with a 5.91 ERA. He's been working on it. We've seen Brandon Woodruff's starts this year. His velocity's not there, but his location absolutely is. He's been. We've seen that, and he's trying to be that wily veteran that the Brewers desperately need. He's been going deep into games. So we'll check out what Brandon Woodruff can do today. He is taking on right-handed pitcher Zach Littell. Littell is 0-1 with a 3.60 ERA. And maybe, just maybe, we should petition for the Brewers to move back to the American League. Because even with the 2 losses in Boston, the Brewers were 8-4 against the American League and are now 0-2 in the National League. And so just keeping our eye out for that. The Brewers 0-2 now in the National League. We've got a lot to get to today. We're going to hear Pat Murphy did talk. Last year, in previous years, I don't know that he talked too much before day games, before Sunday games. He did talk today, though. I know he opened his comments talking about Kyle Harrison's injury last night when Gary Sanchez there was Brewer on Brewer crime last night from Gary Sanchez. I would argue playing out of position at first base. Brandon Sproat is fine, but maybe not. They're looking at him. Robert Gasser pitched to AAA. They're looking at him. So we know that Woodruff is on the mound today. We know that the Miz is pitching on Tuesday, day off tomorrow, by the way. Miz is pitching on Tuesday. We don't really know much beyond that. Woody's 2 starts so far this year. Of course, his first start was against Tampa. He got the win in that game, went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 6 strikeouts, did give up 2 home runs. So 2 solo home runs. And again, if you can give up solo home runs, it's not going to hurt that much. When you give up those crooked number home runs, that's when it hurts. His second game against Boston, he went 5 2/3, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, only 3 earned. Did walk 2 in this game, struck out 4, went 94 pitches. And I know he went 5 2/3. Going deep into that 6th inning, maybe a little bit better defense, maybe a couple better calls, and he could have he could have gotten through that 6th and maybe even into the 7th. Did not pitch poorly in that game. 5 2/3, 3 earned runs is not terrible. 5 runs, not great. And certainly we'll keep our eye on so far the strikeout to walk numbers, 10 strikeouts through 2 starts and only 2 walks. He's going to be a control guy. We know Woody's not going to walk a ton of guys. But 10 strikeouts, not bad so far. I think we'll take that from Woodruff. 6 innings is great. We'd like to get to 6 innings. 6 innings, 3 runs. Would you take 6 innings, 3 runs today? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law talk and text line. 414-677-1250. And because we are contractually obligated to play this sounder 43 times during the show, let's play it now.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right, we've got the starting lineup out today, and I will tell you, I don't know if this is a Pat Murphy decision. I don't know if this is because Woodruff's on the mound. I don't know how you feel about this, but I get the feeling that this is not a Sunday special. Luis Matos is not in this starting lineup, or batting cleanup in this lineup, for goodness sakes. This does not feel like a Sunday special. This feels like the Brewers are trying to find something on offense, which obviously they need to do. Leading off at second base, started the season on fire, has cooled off considerably since the foot injury. Bryce Terang will start at second base. Batting second and catching, the professional hitter. He did hit one last night. We'll listen to that in a little bit. In the attempted 9th inning comeback, William, a.k.a. Bill Contreras, batting second at catcher. Your DH, the wily veteran, Christian Yelich. I know it's not that big of a deal, but when Bowers hit that ball last night, and if you were watching, Bowers almost hit a game-winning or game-tying home run. That or in the it would have been a game-tying home run in the 9th inning. He hit it to the warning track and right. And I know there are no outs, so maybe Yelich was trying to see what was going on. Why didn't Yelich end up at third base on that? Like, what? Why? Like, there's nobody out. Like, they're either going to catch it, or if they don't catch it, you're going to score from second base no matter what. Did anybody else see that? Am I the only one who saw that? I might be the only one who saw that. It didn't make any sense. He ended up at third. There was a wild pitch that got the runners from, and you never know the butterfly effect. You never know if there's going to be a wild pitch. But being on third with that wild pitch, boy, Yelich. I mean, it was an awesome job by him to strike out, realize it was a check swing, called third strikeout, and get all the way to second base. That was a great job by Yelich. But then, kind of a weird situation. I didn't understand why he didn't end up on third base after Bowers almost tied that game. But Yelich is batting third. Garrett Mitchell in center field batting fourth. I don't love this. All right, well, you know what? Let's do the whole lineup, and then I'll comment on it. And we can nitpick lineups all day, right? We can Sparky the lineup all day. So Terang, Contreras, Yelich, Garrett Mitchell in center field, Jake Bowers at first base, Sal Frelick in right field, Brandon Lockridge in left, David Hamilton at third, and Joey, I bat only with the bases loaded, and I take pitches right down the middle, and then I swing at balls and tap out to the pitcher, batting ninth at shortstop. I mean, I actually really like Joey Ortiz. I just wish sometimes like his luck was better. I feel like he's kind of bad luck at the plate. Great with the glove. And we've seen that over and over and over, that he is fantastic with the glove. But if you have any comments on the starting lineup, if you want to chime in, 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. That is the Nicolay Law talk and text line here. And we just went over the starting lineup: Terrain, Contreras, Yelich, Mitchell, Bowers, Frelick, Lockridge, Hamilton, Ortiz. I know Mitchell's had a nice start to the season. Cleanup, like, and I know there's no, like, with Vaughn and Churio out, man, the right-handed hitters on this team are bankrupt. You got Contreras and no one who can hit a home run, right? From the right side of the plate, literally no one who can hit a double. No one who can hit for power at all from the right side of the plate. So I get, and so I don't, like, would I rather it be Bowers than Mitchell, then Frelick, then Mitch? I don't know. I mean, we know Sal is wearing it right now. Sal is just struggling mightily right now. We know that. Can't, but he's gotten some hits here and there. And it's just, is there an inherent pressure to batting cleanup? And if there is Garrett Mitchell the guy you want there batting cleanup? I'm more of an OPS guy than a batting average guy, but I'm willing to focus on batting average. I'm okay with that. Like, we all speak that language, even though we know it's a flawed stat. On base, Yelich and Contreras have the exact same on base, and they're hitting 44 points apart batting average, which means that Yelich is striking out way too much and Contreras has walked a little bit more. And so they have that, Contreras' OPS is 30 points higher than Yelich, even though Yelich's batting average is 40 points. So Yelich gets hits, and that's all he does. He's not walking enough. He's striking out too much. Contreras is doing other things. That's why he's professional hitter, Bill Contreras. But Yelich hitting 327, Contreras 283, Mitchell 281, Lockridge 265, Terrain down to 256. Gary Sanchez is hitting 250. He does lead the team, or tied with Bowers. They both have 3 home runs. Joey's hitting 243, Hamilton 222, Bowers down at 214, Sal at 205, Rengifo 140, Perkins 138. Yeah, that's a tough lineup last night when you got Perkins and Rengifo in the lineup. Like, I hate to say it, but they kind of can't play right now. Like, I don't think Rengifo and Perkins can play right now. Rengifo has 4 doubles. Perkins has 2. Man, they have doubles? I don't remember them hitting the ball at all. They must have been, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember their doubles at all. But Rengifo with an on base of under 200, like, at least Perkins is at 242. At least Perkins is at 242 is on base. Rengifo at 196. Man, that is rough. So this team is mired in it right now, right? We can all agree this team is mired in some substantial offensive woes. Andrew Vaughn, Jackson Churio cannot come through that door quickly enough. Churio especially. Like, I know Bowers is down at 214, but his slugging's at 452, so his OPS is basically a league average 735. His OPS isn't terrible. His OPS is significantly better than Ortiz or Hamilton. It's better than Lockridge. It's better than the light hitters, because he does hit a home run now and then. He almost hit one last night, and that was, and Murph talked about it after the game last night. Like, they all knew it wasn't a home run. It was hit a little bit too far up the bat, but he gave it a ride, man. He gave it a good swing, and it was almost one of those Tommy moments, right? We all know Tommy Hearts loves Jake Bowers. That was almost the thing. But we've got the lineup. We know Woody's on the mound. Is this a must-win for the Brewers? 414-677-1250. Because if the Brewers lose today, I'm going to go on the air tomorrow and Tuesday and say they got to win game one against the Blue Jays. Now, granted, they're playing the American League, so they probably will sweep the Blue Jays. You can't get swept at home by Washington. You can't lose 5 in a row. Woody's on the mound. You got to put up some runs for him. Like, come on, people. Let's make this happen. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talking text line. 414-677-1250. When we come back, we're going to listen to some of Pat Murphy. He spoke half an hour ago. He speaks before the games, speaks before every game. Today, he doesn't always speak before day games, but today he felt like talking. Gives us injury updates and then talks about the team as well. Pat Murphy coming up. My name is Mitch Nellis. I'm in for Tommy Wirtz. You are listening to the Leadoff Show presented by the Potawatomi Sportsbook here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Yes, I got all the technical. There'll be more technical snafus. Like, let's be honest. Like, there's 97 buttons I have to press. And when I hit 95, I think I've done a really good job. And then there's 2 I missed. And I'm like, oh, man. My name's Mitch Nelson, a.k.a. Thunder, in for Tommy Orts today, having a blast on the leadoff show, taking you up to first pitch. It is a 110 first pitch today at American Family Field. Brandon Woodruff taking on right-handed pitcher Zach Littell. And the starting lineup for our Milwaukee Brewers, we've got Terang, Contreras, Yelich. Contreras catching, Yelich DH. Mitchell, Bowers, Frelick, Lockridge in left, Hamilton at third, and Ortiz. So besides that, all normal positions. Terang at second, Contreras catching, Yelich at DH, Mitchell in center, Bowers at first, Frelick in right, Lockridge in left, Hamilton at third, Ortiz at short, and Brandon Woodruff is pitching today. Looking at looking at the Washington Nationals. Let's click on game notes and see if I assume that their lineup is posted. Yeah. It's where's pitching probables? Washington lineup. Here we go. So they've got Wood, Garcia, House, Lyle, Abrams, Young, Vivas, Milas, and Nunez. So James Wood, of course, in right field. Garcia Junior's at first. House is the DH. Man, it's still weird that there's DH in the National League. I still don't. I'm not a fan. Lyles in left. CJ Abrams at shortstop. Young in center. Vivas at third. Milas at catcher. Nunez at second. And if you don't know why I'm not saying any first names besides James Wood and CJ Abrams, because I don't know any of these guys. I've never heard of these guys. Like, have you? I mean, maybe if you're a real knucklehead. I used to be in an NL only fantasy baseball league, and I feel like then I would know some of these guys, but I feel like I'd still not. I'm not going to know Milas, their backup catcher, who came in and caught the ninth. He's the guy who let up that wild pitch that let Yelich get to second base on a check swing strikeout. But besides that, all right. So these are your guys. Well, what do you think, Murph?
Line drive, base hit, down the left field line.
Let's see what the skipper has to say heading into today's game. Let's head to the Coach's Corner. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
What we got?
Kyle Harrison, any name?
No, we're getting that scan read today, so we'll figure out more. Let's see if it came in yet. We're optimistic, but at the same time, we don't want to pretend like there's nothing when there's maybe something. So didn't come in yet.
We talked to Sproat, and he seemed pretty optimistic. Same thing.
Same thing. He feels optimistic, but it's sore. It's par for the course right now. We're used to April with the Brewers is challenging.
Would if he's good, would Sprout get one of those Blue Jays games?
Yeah, looks like it. Don't know for sure. Again, these are all things after today.
Yeah,
we'll sit down and see where we're at, injury wise, and kind of decide how we want to go. Yeah.
And then the other, just counting days. The other one, would you need a fresh shot for the other Blue Jays game?
I mean, we could. I mean, it's just all looking at how we want to bring guys back. You know, Patrick didn't get taxed necessarily, so he could come back. After 3 innings, I mean, the same for Sproat. So, yeah. But again, it depends on the health and where they're at. They're young arms. We want to be careful. We want to be smart.
Did Gasser come through his in AAA okay?
Yeah, we're waiting on that too. This is the day,
a lot of waiting.
The day after tells you a little bit, and then he's going to get out and throw today. So we'll see how it feels.
But he didn't have to get it.
No
testing
or have to come out of the game. He just didn't get good results.
Murph, is today a day where you like having a guy like Brandon Woodruff on the mound? Right?
I always like having Woody.
Yeah.
You know, like anytime Woody's out there, it just feels great. You know, he knows what he's doing. This is a club that's in the top 3 in baseball in runs scored so far. So they're feeling themselves a little bit. They're going through a good stretch. And a lot of this is what I'm learning after these 11 years is like when you face teams, you know what I mean, where you're at, where they're at, can make a difference. But the good teams overcome.
What is it about their lineup that obviously it's very, very early in the season, but what is it that's made them as productive as they've been thus far?
Yeah, they got a little bit of experience. They know there's not pure rookies in there. They got a little bit of experience, and they got 2 or 3 guys that are like, uber talented. Wood is coming into his own as one of the top hitters in the game. Abrams has established himself as an all-star caliber player. And then you piece together some other guys that can really run, some guys that have had 500 major league at bats. Yeah, they play defense. It's a formidable lineup. And then you got the other hungry guys, the Joey Weimers, who's done well for them so far. The new kid Nunez, who's playing his butt off, and you got an experienced kid like Garcia, who just flat out hits. House and Lyle are huge. Come into their own guys, kind of in their second or touching their second year. So they got a nice little blend of hunger and talent. As I see it, I'm on the other side. Right. You never know. I got my hands full with what's going on with our club right now. So
young manager too, 33 years old.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Age is just a number, Tom.
It is. I agree.
It's just a number. I think of myself at 33. Jesus. You guys would have loved me.
What were you like?
Were you at Notre Dame?
Was it Notre Dame?
Yeah, I was at Notre Dame.
Yeah. Were you like 28 when you got the job?
Yeah, I was full of myself. Everything was going right. Winning 45 games a year in a 56-game schedule. It's a lot of winning. You think you're good, and you're really not.
When did you learn that?
I'm still learning that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a great time in my life in so many ways. You're just as you guys know, some of you are 33 in here, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
The youth is this side.
Sophia's 29.
I'm 33 and change.
Give or take. My hairline says older.
Look at Derbs. Knock. Look at Derbs, 2-run single. That's what I'm talking about, Derbs.
There was a double challenge in that game.
Tell me about it.
They awarded somebody first base for hit by pitch. The Red Sox challenge said he wasn't hit by a pitch. Challenge was successful. Then the Cardinals challenge saying it was catcher's interference, actually. And that was successful too, so we ended up on first base anyway.
Nice.
Wow. Should they look at the totality of the play the first time?
I don't know. It was the first time I'd ever seen that where each team had a challenge in the same play, let alone both of them working.
So
Interference on a check swing. You see that?
So that's what was confusing me about us, because it was a check swing. Okay.
Murph, back to Woodruff. He got into the 90s, 94, I think, was it pitch count in Boston? That all check out?
Yeah.
Does that impact anything today?
I mean, you keep in April. You keep an eye on all your pitchers, where they're at. It's not really pitch count. It's stressful pitches, stressful innings, and it's for who? A stressful inning for Sproat is different than a stressful inning for Woody. Woody's health is always a concern because we want him to, go out there all year and compete. Yeah, we'll kind of gauge it. We feel good about it. He came out of it very good, so he feels good.
When you said after that game, it was like that was a kind of leadership appearance for him, just considering you're coming off of doubleheader and all that.
Yeah. When was the doubleheader?
Saturday, and then he pitched
in Kansas City.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Well, that was great leadership. I mean, to get back out there, he'd given up a couple runs. Wasn't really all his fault, but he'd given up a couple runs. Then we go to the fifth. We score some runs. We go to the fifth, and he's got to establish that fifth inning. Like, okay, I'm here. I'm still going. And that other side looking out there like, man, guy's coming back for more. And sure enough, pitched really good in the fifth and most of the sixth. Got him out of there, and it worked out. Our pitching coaches don't get enough credit. I mean, the thing about Hindu and Hookie is like they work diligently. Again, I'm not the master of understanding everything about the game, but I'm a pitching mind in my own right in terms of I've been there and understand the game from that perspective too. Coached it a long time at different levels. So it's like to see them operate, and especially what they're faced with this year with the youth, the injuries, dealing with, they're not just coaching 13 guys. They're literally coaching 25 guys, because it's all the AAA guys are ready for action. Everybody's close, and it's a long season, as it's proven. You guys have asked me questions about pitching health and MLB. I don't know how much research you guys do, but it's a big concern in MLB, and our game going forward. And it has all sorts of ramifications. We're trying to, do everything we can to stay competitive when you don't have the money for the big starter, so to speak, or a number of big starters.
So it's something that's a little different than it used to be, just like you said, the number of guys that the pitching coaches are working with across levels.
Because of the injuries, In the day, back in the day, and I don't know what day I'm talking about, but a long time ago, these guys took them out every 5 days, regardless. And you didn't have that concern. You knew what they could do. They knew how they could navigate. The zone was different. The game was different. Bigger, stronger, faster. Way more physical talent in the game. Exit velocities are off the chart. The Arsenal scores are off the chart. The arm injuries are off the chart. So I think the game's changing. And as the situation we're in as a small market team, we're trying to thread the needle. And they've, due to our front office and our pitching coaches, they've done an unbelievable job, being able to set us up for success.
How much is it having 3 guys there on the pitching side as compared to, several years ago, it was just 1 guy on the big league staff?
Yeah, isn't that funny? Like, you think about all coaching staffs, right? There's the manager, usually a bench coach. Now we've got into this strategy coach thing. We get it. But then everyone else is for position players, and then there was 1 pitching coach or a bullpen coach and a pitching coach. Yeah, I just feel like there's so much more needed individual stuff for the pitchers. So I was adamant about adding a pitching spot, even if we had to reduce another spot. So, yeah, it worked out. I think Juan's going to make a difference too. What else? What do you got? You don't?
Not today.
He asked questions. And also
Right. So fun. I missed it.
No, it was great. He even asked the first question.
Wow.
Why are they so tough on you?
How do you go about dividing the responsibilities among those pitching coaches? Some guys work with specific guys, or kids full-time.
Yeah, it's a work in progress right now. But when Hook and Jimmy had it, Jimmy had the relievers, game strategy. Hookie had starters, and kind of big picture, oversee it all. And it's kind of similar. Juan, his first year on the bench here in the big leagues, so he's taking it all in, learning, and they're parceling off things for him to help. Charlie Green does a great job, and he's the unsung one. He does a great job in the bullpen. Great job. His communication, his knowledge of the game. He might be one of the most underrated coaches in baseball. Like he's 24/7 baseball at a frightening. It's frightening. I knew his pops, and his pops was 22/7 because his family was his wife was very important to him.
There is manager Pat Murphy, some interesting inside baseball there about, how teams used to have 1 pitching coach and that was it. And then they had a bullpen coach. Now they got, 1 or 2 more coaches with the team that are helping with strategy, helping with technique, helping with starters versus helping with relievers. Obviously, Chris Hook, we know the magic that he has brought to the Brewers over the past couple of years. We're hoping that it translates to Harrison and Sprout and Drobin and a bunch of the other guys, younger guys who are making an impact, but still have a ways to go. We see how great Harrison can be. And then, we see what Chad Patrick's done. We see what Quinn Priester did last year. But we still need guys to get into the 6th inning and get through 6. Maybe even get into the 7th, but definitely get through 6. Like, I think that's kind of that key number. I know the Brewers, when they were 8-2, they were, one of the top teams in Major League Baseball in terms of offense, averaging 6.8 runs a game. In their losing streak, they are averaging 1.5 runs a game. They have not scored a lot. Interesting note I did see, the Brewers committed 3 errors last night. They now have 5 on the season. They are one of the best, if not the best, fielding teams in all of Major League Baseball. You look at the teams, there's, let's see, the Reds, Guardians, Dodgers, and A's all have 4 errors as a team. The Astros, Brewers, and Rangers all have 5. So I have to assume that with the 2 errors coming into last night, the Brewers led Major League Baseball with the fewest errors. They're now tied for 5th with those errors. The hitting numbers still better than the pitching numbers over 14 games, even though the last 4 games have told a different story. When we come back, we're going to put together a little parlay. Let's put together a little parlay. I know Austin Herdina is not available today. He's got family time going on today, which I was texting with him earlier today, and I'm like, you do family time, but can I get you on the record can we get a win today? And he said, not going on the record, but I feel pretty good about things today. So we'll put a little parlay together for you and wrap things up here on the Leadoff Show, presented by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
That's right. This is the leadoff show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder, in for Tommy Wirtz today. Tommy's doing Tommy things. Probably hitting up Kmart. Can you even hit up Kmart? We Googled it actually on Friday, and there's like still a Kmart in Guam and in the U.S. Virgin Islands, maybe. I don't know. If you know where there's an open Kmart, you text me 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. I need to know. By the way, the final text of the night last night during the post-game show with the franchise, Tim Allen and Tommy Wirtz, they were here last night, talked about, I know the offense is a problem, but can we please address the little things they are doing wrong that are not conducive to winning baseball? Recency example, at the end of the game, Yelich not tagging on Bauer's fly. It didn't matter in the end, but it must be done, and you never know how certain little things will end up affecting things. 1,000% on board with that. Like, I was shocked he was not on third base. I didn't understand it. It didn't make any sense to me. I don't know if Murph talked about it last night, or if anybody talked about it last night. He didn't talk about it in the pregame today. They didn't ask him. But I do wonder, like, what was happening there that Jake Bauers hits one to the wall that Yelich isn't tagging up at second base. That didn't make sense to me. Your starting lineup today, we've got Bryce Terang at second, leading off. Batting second, William Contreras at catcher. Your DH is Christian Yelich in the third hole. Garrett Mitchell batting cleanup. He'll be starting in center field today. Jake Bauers is at first base. Sal Frelick in right field. Brendan Lockridge in left field. David Hamilton, the speedy David Hamilton at third base, and Joey Ortiz batting ninth at shortstop. I do wonder, I know they like Gary Sanchez's pop in the lineup. I know he's tied with Jake Bauers for the most home runs on the team with 3. I do wonder if he will get less opportunities at first base after last night. The second error he made ended up being an out, and so we kind of lose it. But it was a bunt, and he tried to flip it to the second baseman. He ends up throwing it at the ump. It hits the ump. The runner rounded first, went to second, and they got him out pretty easily. But the first one could have been a real disaster, and we're still waiting on the testing results on Kyle Harrison. But Gary Sanchez bobbles it and then rushes it and pretty much throws like a 90-mile-an-hour fastball into Kyle Harrison's knee. Like, guess what? Don't do that. I love Big Rumble. Big Rumble plays some first base for Whitefish Bay softball. In the first game of the year, the second baseman who'd never played second base before grounded, got a grounder, and threw it as hard as she could. And luckily, it went at her feet. Unluckily, it went past and runners advanced. But it didn't hit her, break her leg or something. That could have been disastrous last night. And I don't know. I haven't looked up the full Gary Sanchez history of first base. I don't know if Contreras should have been at first and Sanchez catching. I don't know if that's a better solution. I think obviously when Vaughn comes back, Vaughn and Bauers really take over first base, and you won't really see Sanchez. I understand needing a right-handed power hitter in the lineup because besides Contreras, there really isn't one. But I don't know how much more of that we will see. Going over to our friends at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The Milwaukee Brewers today are minus 225 to win. So let's start building a winner. Brought to you by our friends at Potawatomi Sportsbook. The Brewers at minus 225. What else do we like there? Zach Littell on the mound, a righty for the Nationals. And with a righty up there, batter hits. Man, I think Sal's going to get a hit today. We think Sal's going to get a hit today? We okay with that? I think Sal is going to get a hit today. Over half a hit. I'm going to click on that. And then Woodruff hasn't struck out a ton of guys. But he has He's done okay. Where do I see? Do I see not? Where do I see? Oh, listed pitcher. There's Woodruff. But I don't see strikeouts. That's weird. Interesting. Pitcher props. There we go. How about that? Brandon Woodruff. I'm just going to go over 4.5. I'm not going to go anything crazy. Over 4.5. So I've got the Brewers to win. I've got Sal over half a hit, and I've got Woody over 4.5. This parlay plays plus 155. So it's not an overly favored one. The Brewers money line is a minus 225. Woody over 4.5 is minus 335, which is kind of crazy. I like to think he's going to get for sure 6 strikeouts. I think he's going to get 5. Sal is the more even one. So plus 155. That is the parlay that I'm going with today. Brewers money line, Sal over half, Woody over 4.5. Bet $10 to win $15.50 and walk away with $25.50 after your initial investment. That will work. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. You got a couple more minutes to get here and get into the game. But let's jump into it.
How does the crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Oh, you got to score some runs. You got to score some runs. And you know what would be great? Scoring some runs early. If the Brewers could score some runs early. I know they did that Friday night. Jake Bauers 3-run homer. By the way, that is the only hit by the Brewers during this 4-game losing streak. That is their only hit with a runner in scoring position. It was the 3-run homer by Bauers that gave the team the lead 3-2 for quite some time Friday night. They led that game for a while. And then things went the wrong way later on Friday night. Even if it's just one, I would love a run in the first inning. I would love a run in the first inning. That would be unbelievable. That'd make me happy. I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy if we could just get a run in the first inning. So that's one of my keys to the game. I think Woody going 5+ is a key. I don't know that he's got to go 6. I don't know that he's got to go 7. I know the bullpen's been used a lot recently, but there's another day off tomorrow. So if they can suck it up and really focus on what they need to get done and then rest tomorrow before Toronto comes in on Tuesday, I think Woody going 5+. Again, I just put him over 4.5 strikeouts. I don't think he's got to go crazy with strikeouts or anything like that. But I really, 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 really want a run in that first inning. That would really make me happy. So we'll see if that happens. I think getting the lead, though, the key, whether it's the first inning or not, scoring first, because the more you're in a losing streak and the more you lose, your offense is struggling. The other team scores first, and you just get in your heads. You just get in your heads about stuff, and you don't feel good, and things go sideways, and it's just like, yeah, you don't want that. So, scoring first, I think, is my key to the game. I'd love a first run inning, but scoring first in this game is going to be my drop the mic end of discussion key to the game. Want to thank everybody for listening. Hope you guys had a great time. I hope I did okay for Tommy here. We'll be back. I'll be here with Tim on the post-game show presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. But for now, enjoy Brewers baseball and get that left arm ready, because as Tommy Wirtz would say, don't forget, send them home.